away.
What's the vibe?
Oh man, the guys are excited. You know what I mean, and they're really tired of each other. You know, I mean they love each other, but they're tired of Rutgers on Rutgers football. You know, but the challenge right now, like I told them, always challenge these guys is can we be pros and can we prepare all the way up until that moment.
How you doing?
And so, you know, that's really the challenge right now. Looking forward to these guys answering the bell of that challenge. You know, but just trying to have fun. You know, trying to get these guys to relax. You know, obviously Blesson and Zay, you know, they've been at it a little bit. You know, so it's nothing new to them. But you know, these young guys, you can start to see those guys getting a little antsy. You know, the nerves kicking in. But you know, hopefully we can get off to a fast start and kind of ease their worries and get them guys settled in because they get some guys playing. That's the plan.
Corey, from as a defensive coach from that side of the ball, when you're looking at art, what do you see? You know, what are you looking to see? What do you think of him as a defensive-minded coach?
I mean, to be honest, you know, I try to focus on my guys, man, in practice. You know, obviously opponents, we study those guys, but I don't really have a whole lot as far as our quarterbacks and what they do. I will tell you, though, I do pay attention to him, how he conducts himself in the building, in the Hill Center. He's always watching film. He's always got his film on his iPad. Always in a good mood, approachable kid, mature for his age. So I think all those are good characteristics and qualities that you know obviously should help him on the field.
Bless, were you surprised at him this year? I mean this summer.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. You know, I heard, you know, that he was a good player, you know, when I was hired. You know, you get a chance to see him run around and things like that. It's definitely been encouraging early on, and he's been consistent throughout camp. But definitely wouldn't say I was surprised at all. He's a really talented young man, and football matters to him.
With the ACL, though, you weren't even...
Well, I mean, like I said, our staff does a great job. You know, starting with Kenny Parker and, you know, and Brandon and training staff. Got 100% faith in those guys, getting our guys back on the field. So really was definitely expecting him to be ready to go. And glad that he is.
You see guys coming back quicker because, I mean, from the time you first
started,
it seems like it's a lot faster.
It is, man. Technology, you know what I mean, and medicine, you know, definitely improved over the years and helped these guys. I think if guys attack their rehab, it fast, you know, speeds up their recovery time.
You used to be, remember you had that, you were done.
Done. Yeah. At least 12 months, man. 12
sometimes you were done
18 months.
Yeah. So, how do you balance recruiting, you know, with camp and stuff like that?
Good question. You know, I think it comes down to I look at recruiting. I was a high school coach, you know, as you know, for a long time, and I look at recruiting very similar to when I was a high school coach. I try to build genuine relationships with guys. I'm concerned about their well-being, so it's almost like our current kids. You constantly find yourself thinking about them, and you think about them throughout the day. You shoot them a text, or you know, you get off the practice field, you run in, and you know, hey man, how'd you do on that quiz, or you know, how was summer workouts, how was the weight room this morning, you know, stuff that's on your mind because you're thinking about these kids because you can build a genuine relationship. I would say the catch-22 to that is when these kids choose to go other schools, it hurts. It hurts because you build a personal vibe, a personal relationship, because you want it to be genuine, you want to be about their best interest, and then when they choose not to come to you, one, obviously, if you're recruiting them, you think you're getting a good player, but two, you kind of lose a friend, you know what I mean? Or you lose somebody that you built a little relationship with. So, but that's how I manage it. I try, it's genuine to me, so they're on my mind, and I want to know what's going on with them.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you kind of walk in, and when you see him, you go, that guy's the quarterback. You know, he reminds me, I was at Indiana with Nate Sudfeld, who's now with the Eagles, and I think he, personality-wise, has a lot of similar characteristics that Nate does in terms of just how he carries himself.
Yeah. Not to make like a straight comparison, but does Art remind you of anybody that you've dealt with during your coaching career?
Like I said, Nate, yeah, he reminds me a lot of Sudfeld. I think he's probably got more arm talent than Nate, but they're both big guys. They're both, you know, born and bred to be quarterbacks, just in how they carry themselves, both on and off the field, study, take young guys, and Art's a young guy himself, but takes a young guy and kind of helps mentor them. And just from afar on the defensive side, watching him meet with guys during the summer and trying to get young guys up to speed is pretty impressive.
The times that you've seen him live out here during camp, during practice, what makes him dangerous back there as a quarterback?
His arm strength. I think he can make all the throws. He can throw from one sideline or one hash to the far sideline, and he doesn't seem, if he makes a bad throw, throws a pick or whatever, it doesn't seem to rattle him, and he just kind of gets back and plays the next play.
Kai Hester makes his return to High Point Solution Stadium on Saturday. What have you seen of him over the course of this week as he prepares for his first game back?
He got a haircut, so he looks a lot better. You know, that's the main thing. I think he's hungry. You know, I don't know when he left here. You know, I think he felt like he had unfinished business, and I think he's happy to be back, and he's worked that way. He had to work to get him back in graces. You know, I think he was friends the entire time with the whole team, at least a lot of core guys, but they didn't just necessarily say, hey, Kai, here we go, kumbaya. They made him work a little bit during fall camp, and I think he embraced that, kind of kept his mouth shut, and worked hard to both get himself in football shape and work on some football skills. And I think he's kind of, I would say he's at peace, just watching him, he's at peace with himself, and he's excited to go out there and play is what I kind of see.
In the first game, do you expect?
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, do you expect like guys, like young guys like Izzy and Barrow to play maybe?
Yeah, you know, I don't, at least me personally, don't come in and say, hey, you're going to play this many snaps, you're going to play this many snaps and whatnot. We know coming in that Texas State is going to be a tempo team, so we got to see how we go. Can we get 3 and outs? If we get 3 and outs, guys aren't playing a lot of plays, then we'll see. If we don't get 3 and outs and we're playing 90, 95 plays, those guys are going to have to come in and play.
You mentioned that Hester had to work to get back into the good graces of his teammates, but did you see any teammates that embraced him? You know, who's been closest with him from what you've seen?
Well, I think Saquon and him have always had a good relationship, and like I said, even when he wasn't here, he was on campus taking classes all spring and all summer. So yeah, he wasn't working out with guys, but he was still around. You know, if you go out, he lived with players. When you go out, when you play Fortnite together and stuff like that, you know, there's still that camaraderie. And there's a difference, man. There's a huge difference, and it's hard to get guys to understand. There's a big difference between being friends and being teammates. And I think Kai was always, even when he came back, he was a friend and still a friend. He wasn't necessarily a teammate, and he had to work himself back into being a teammate. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good.